Okay.
And we are live.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm James Wesley. This is my husband, Seth Rudetsky. Jack Plotnick made us an opening that I don't think it's loaded yet.
We forgot to upload it. He's going to be so mad.
Trying to be fancy.
He's so lazy. I'm sure he's asleep right now. Listen, if you speak to Jack, he's not going to know. So let's just pretend we showed you an amazing opening, and then we'll show it again tonight when we have the TV show Barry on. But he made us a great opening, and he made us great credits.
Welcome to Stars in the House.
What is Stars in the House?
Daily, most of the time, twice daily talk show.
It is a twice daily. Well, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Well, we weren't on last week.
Okay, out of 3 weeks, we're not doing one because we had to highlight this other. It's so literal. I've got to be honest and say we're not always twice a day. We're always twice a day, 2 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a fundraiser for the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund is not just for actors, but who is it for?
It is for it is for people that are performing arts professionals, and that is behind the scenes or on stage. It could be wedding singers. It could be stage managers. It could be people that are in ballets and opera companies and symphonies. And really, it's in people in need all across the country, whether it's for rent or health insurance payments or food, utilities, all of that. And the Actors Fund daily is giving away $250,000 approximately in financial assistance. It's great need. And I think Seth is going to get our dog.
I'm going to get her cushion.
The doggy bed. I knew that was going to happen. So on today's show, we are excited that we have Marlee Matlin and Hampton Callaway. But before we get started on that, please, if you're watching this on Facebook, share it with your Facebook friends, YouTube, just tell people about it. We want to get the word out. And we're having people watch it from all over the world. And I want to read, because this is for the Actors Fund, feel free to donate during this if you can. $5 is great. $1,000 is great. We'll take any of that. But I wanted to read some of these that came in at the end of yesterday afternoon show, because when they come in at the tail end, the Actors Fund sends it to me to give you an idea about who's, give a shout out to people and thank them.
When we get donations today, we're going to have Marlee Matlin's Jack Jason be signing them. So when we actually read the name and the number, we'll see it in full signing.
Great idea. Okay. We want to thank Stephen from Minnesota, who gave $100 yesterday afternoon. Patty from Maryland, $50. Lois from New York, $15. Ellen from Tennessee, $100. Ann from New York gave $25. Chris from New York gave $100. And that leads to a grand total so far in the first 3 weeks of Stars in the House, $165,000. $700 too. So $165,700.
It's so hard to
when they get so high, I forget. Yeah. I have to go back to math class to remember how to do it.
Anyway, it's all good.
It's really incredible.
It is really amazing. You donate at starsinthehouse.com.
That's right. We wanted to tell people Dr. LaPook is treating patients this week during the day. So he's going to be joining us tonight and every night, but he won't be with us during the
I'll be giving the medical advice.
No, you will not. No, you will not.
Dare you?
You could tell everyone to wash their hands, Seth.
Well, as your mother would say, wash your hands.
She's from Texas.
Jesus.
Okay, my mom is out there tending to the raspberry bush, and the door is open because it's a beautiful day.
But she literally says wash.
And she literally just yelled back at Seth to not make fun of her Texas accent. So, Seth, you want to have the door open? That's what's going to happen.
Y'all have to wash your hands.
That's right.
Anywho.
I say we bring on our guest, Oscar winner Marlee Matlin, and her friend and interpreter, Jack Jason.
1, 2, 3, go. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hi.
Let's first say that Marlee looks adorable and she seems completely focused and businesslike. But if we go to this view, we can see that her office is maybe not as clean as So what's all that?
I'm very, 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 very busy. I'm very busy. Look at this. This is my office, my little sign.
Why does that look like a shopping list?
She said, why does it look like a shopping list? Why does it look like that? Because I have lists. I have shopping lists. I have to-do lists. I have lists. I have to do this. Otherwise, I'd freak out. I'd go insane.
Well, speaking of that, Marlee, what are you doing to keep healthy and sane during this time?
Well, first of all, I have 4 kids. So that in itself I don't know if that keeps me sane, but it keeps me busy. But I'm lucky because They're all older. The 3 youngest ones are still at home. So it's 19, 17, and 16. And they're all smart teenagers because they know how to close their doors and hibernate in their little caves, in their rooms, which helps me a lot for me and my husband. So they do their own thing. But as far as we are doing, we're taking care of ourselves. I'm a germaphobe in the first place anyway. So I'm looking out for bugs all the time. So that helps. But it's at the same time I freak out, but yet I'm getting better at it. I'm connecting with a lot of people out there. I'm making old friends and new friends online. I'm talking a lot. So my anxiety level is, well, I go day by day. And the best way, and this is the best way to do it. I mean, just take it one day at a time.
You know, we have a daughter who's 19, and and we were talking about this last night, and I said, you know what? If you have more good days than bad days in a week, you're doing great, because every day is going to be up and down.
Exactly. I mean, what? Yes, Seth, were you going to say something, Seth?
No. I was going to.
I saw your mouth ready to say something like that.
I didn't agree with him. I was just going to ask Marlee, are you like having to homeschool your kids, or are they, thank God, doing everything themselves?
This one is on her own. She's working. She's 24 years old. But this one, not so much. He came home from his first year of college, and he's not a happy boy. And for the first 3 days when he got home, he sort of detoxed, if you want to put it that way. Party boy. And so I checked that out as he was detoxing. It was fine. I'm being a little bit silly. And yes, he's in Boston for school. He's at Emerson College. And then the youngest 2, they're just online. I don't have to teach. I don't have to homeschool them, thank goodness, because I'd be the worst teacher in the whole world. I would take too many breaks, too many recess breaks. That's what I would do.
But you'd have so many lists.
For me, all for me. It's all about me, okay? It's all about me. That's what it's all about.
Were you a good student when you were a kid?
No.
Okay. By the way, I'm so nervous about Jack getting tendonitis. I've literally never spoken this slowly in my life. I'm trying so hard not to speak fast because of possible arthritis and tendonitis issues.
Go as fast as you want. Go 500 miles per hour and Jack's really that good. He's the best in the world. He really, really is amazing, as skilled as an interpreter, and he loves what he's saying about himself right at this very moment. Me complimenting him, complimenting himself.
How did you two meet, and how long ago?
Well, we met in New York City right after I did Children of a Lesser God, which was my first film, 34 years ago. And we met because I needed an interpreter to show me around New York City. I'm being from Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago. So I had no idea what New York City was about. And there were other reasons, but he showed me around and we became friends and have been working together ever since.
Wow. It's a long time. And Jack, how come you know so much about sign language? Why is that your thing?
I saw a book at Barnes & Noble and I just picked it up. No, I'm kidding. What did you say, Marlee? Do you want me to interpret for Jack as Jack is speaking for himself?
Yes, please.
But my mom and dad are deaf. They're now 96 and 90, and they're sheltering in place up in the San Francisco Bay Area. But I learned sign language as my first language, and then English is my second language. And then I met Marlee when I was at NYU, and because she needed an interpreter, and then we have met ever since. So I run her production company.
Jack, Marlee and Jack, in 1989, I worked for the National Captioning Institute and did captioning. And you were the national spokesperson, I think, right?
I was exactly right. I started that with the National Captioning Institute a long time ago because, they're not around any longer, but as far as I know, I started this group called the Friends of NCI, and we had a lot of entertainment on board producers, directors to support the idea, which at the time wasn't around, closed captioning. And it was, I mean, you could see now more on television, which I helped pass the bill that made sure that all televisions were mandated to have the chip inside that allows the TVs to be closed captioned. But you know, I'm still fighting for closed captioning. I'm still fighting for open captioning. I'm still fighting for captions in theaters. As far as theater in New York City goes, let's talk about theater in New York City. There used to be interpreters on stages, and I loved watching them sign shows. There were so many interpreted shows in New York City, and you'd see lots of Broadway shows, you'd see lots of off-Broadway shows. And now, for some reason, they've reduced interpreters, and now what they're doing is a system called Gala Pro, and it's where you have you hold it's an app on your phone or it's an iPad, where the theater provides like a holder for your phone, and you can watch the captions. There are pluses and minuses to it. I, as a theater goer, would prefer to watch the captions if I wanted to know exactly every single word in the show, because I want to know that. But American Sign Language, understood, it's not written English, but it's beautiful to watch. You have more accessibility, and I could watch the interpreter. I mean, I don't know what the system was, but they've reduced the number of interpreters on Broadway shows. So there were 2 shows actually that the Actors Fund did with interpreters. They had Hadestown and they had Dear Evan Hansen. So you guys had interpreters for those shows, and that was great. But now I know the people who really do interpreting right now is an organization called Hands On. And they've been around a long time, and they've done a lot of shows. So I think we should have a choice whether you want to watch an interpreter or watch captioning. I wish we had interpreters back on stages again. I really do. I mean, to have that choice is better. But closed captioning is very popular for everybody, not just for deaf people, for anybody who wants to see the words.
Marlee, have you ever thought about being a celebrity interpreter, like doing all the, lending yourself out to Broadway shows and being the interpreter on the side?
A deaf interpreter on Broadway, you mean? I mean...
Well, for you to do the sign language for the show, so like there's a star doing the sign language.
Because you have the script.
If someone asked me to sit there and interpret a Broadway show, you would be talking to the wrong person, because she can't hear, Seth. How's she going to interpret?
Okay, Jack, you read the script and then you actually interpret what you're reading.
No, I could do that. I could work from that, but I don't have that kind of energy to do interpreting. I think somebody else who's deaf would probably be better at it than I would. They're called CDIs, Certified Deaf Interpreters, and they work in theaters and but no, I would break my hands. I can't. I'm not that. 2 hours. Like you just did.
Okay, so we have so many questions about your. Oh yes, and I missed something.
It's not my forte.
All right, fine. Speaking of fortes, I'll play a little piano. This is for you. Okay. Exactly.
So you're moving your hand, so I know I can see your whatever that is. Yes. Okay. Fine.
Okay, so James and I were just researching your amazing career, and tonight we're doing a reunion of the cast members of Barry. And one of the cast members of Barry, who just won an Emmy, apparently had a lot to do with your career. I had no idea you were connected. Can you talk about that?
I have to say, Henry Winkler is like a second father to me.
Oh.
I met him when I was 12 years old in Chicago doing theater there. And we had a sort of a benefit, and I heard that the most famous person in America was paying us a visit to our little theater. And it was Henry Winkler, because who didn't know who Henry Winkler was at the time? He was the Fonz. He was the most famous person. He's still very famous. And I had an agenda. I had a plan. I wanted to go up to him on my own. And once our show was over, I went right up to him and I said, "Hi, I'm Marlee, and I want to be an actor in Hollywood just like you." And he looked at me and said, "Sure." And ever since then, he's been there as my mentor since I was 12 years old. I'm 54 now. That's how long we've known each other. And you can see our picture here. I'm going to show you something here. Here we are. together. Reflect. He is one of the kind. He's one of a kind, and I have kept in touch with him all those years. He's given me a great deal of advice. He's been my mentor. I got married at his house. Actually, I lived at his house with him and his family for 2 years. After a very rough time, right after I won the Oscar, I had a very rough time with the boyfriend I was living with, and with the critics who didn't believe that I could have a career beyond the Oscar.
Wow.
Simply because of the fact that I was deaf. And he took me in, and I lived with their family for 2 years, and I got married at their house. And I mean, how's that for a history book? What do you think of that?
Wow.
Here's a little picture of the two of you looking adorable. Look how sweet. That's so nice. So what can you think of in terms of how did he specifically help you? Was he able to introduce you to agents, auditions?
Well, first of all, he believed in me. Secondly, he never said, no, you can't do something. Whatever I said I want to do, he's always one who said, look, you have to work for it. You have to believe in yourself. And if things don't go your way, there are other paths to take. You know, the way that mentors talk to people. He made it so easy to ask for advice. And yet he was never easy on me too, but he always said, you got to try. You have to try. Whatever it is, the dream that you have, whatever goal that you have, whatever desires that you have, just go for it. And he was always there to hold my hand and offer advice for the longest time. And then at the right point, he let me go and experience the path on my own or whatever it may be. And he's just always there. And his wife, Stacy, I mean, I want to be her when I grow up. I really want to be Stacy Winkley when I grow up.
Sweet.
She is fierce. She is one of a kind. And I look up to her. She makes the best brisket west of Chicago.
What about east of Chicago?
Well, I mean, she is in Los Angeles. I was from Chicago, so I grew up in Chicago. So I grew up eating brisket, but I lived with them, and she made brisket, a lot of brisket. So anyway.
Well, it's past tomorrow.
I'm very, very grateful for their kindness, their hospitality. Their kids are great too.
So you've done plays and musicals. I mean, it's amazing you got to do a musical. Did you enjoy doing a musical as much as the play or less than a play? What?
I grew up, I started acting when I was 7 years old, and it was at a place called the Center on Deafness in Chicago. And what they did is they did lots of plays, or we did like The Wizard of Oz, we did Mary Poppins, we did Peter Pan, we did Pinocchio, we did shows like that, Disney movies, whatever it was that had music in it. But music was very, very much a part of who I was. It was a huge part of my life. And I've always loved music, even though I'm deaf, because I can feel it and I can easily learn with my hearing aids lyrics. That's how it works for me. And I love Billy Joel. And I can hear and sign and have signed his music. Don't tell anybody I can actually hear. Everybody who's watching, everybody, the whole world who's watching right now, don't tell people I can hear this. But anyway, I mean, Seth, you could play a Billy Joel song someday for me, and I could sign it for you. It's like,
don't go changing. All right, later.
Oh, wait, no, you can do it. If you want to do it, Marlee will do it.
Oh my God, you want to know it? Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar. I don't see you anymore. To be continued.
You guys can actually see Marlee doing it with Billy Joel on Sesame Street. If you go to YouTube, you can see Marlee signing it.
Oh.
We had the same piano teacher.
And he changed the lyrics for us for the song for Sesame Street. That was a lot of fun.
To be about what?
So then I did the shows until I was like 15. And then when I got to high school, I wanted to be a teenager. And I didn't want to work. And I didn't want to rehearse. And this is high school, obviously. those 4 years. And then I went back to acting, and my first professional paid theater experience was in Chicago. And it was Children of a Lesser God. And that's where they discovered me. That's where the casting director for the film discovered me for the film. And I went through film and television all those years, and people kept saying Broadway, and I kept saying no Broadway, no Broadway, no Broadway. I was terrified. I had stage fright, and I said no until a friend of mine, DJ Kurz, who runs Deaf West Theater, convinced me to do Spring Awakening on Broadway. And it was on Broadway, New York City. I had a blast. It was great. It was a blast.
Well,
what did you think? I was going to say, what did you think about working with Camryn Manheim in this show? Because there was a lot of young people with not a lot of experience, and then a big TV star. Was that fun?
So Camryn and I have known each other for a long time. There was nobody else that I would have rather worked with than her for that role. And because we've been friends for a long time, she used to be an interpreter, a sign language interpreter, and she still signs fluently. So it wasn't like she learned it just for the show.
Have you ever played a game with her? Because she's...
We worked together before. Oh, where'd you go? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I got lost. See? Okay. I'm busy. See, I'm getting messages and I'm getting emails.
My question was, have you ever played a game with Camryn Manheim? Because we had a game night with her, and she's severely competitive.
She plays games. And she's very... Jack is choppy now. She's very... Say that again, Seth.
Have you ever done a game night with Camryn Manheim? Because she's extremely competitive, angrily so.
I know, she plays all the time, and I don't play with game people. That's not my thing. I'm competitive. I'm a sore loser. That's it.
Well, why don't you just hear? You can tell her yourself. Please welcome Camryn Manheim.
Hey!
Wait. You didn't say you don't play with gay people, did you? Because without gay people, there are no games. They're the best.
Exactly right. True. Camryn, you are very fiercely competitive. I'm so intimidated. You have to win. It's your thing. You have to win. How is that fun for the other players?
I like it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is so much fun. I don't play for money. I play for honor. And if you are in the game and you care about winning,
no.
We're gonna have fun.
No. Your nose is growing as you're speaking right now. Camryn, what I love about Camryn is that when it comes to games, like for example, poker, she's the queen of poker. I get it, but she plays for charity. And that's really good. She plays for charity. She's the queen of that. And that's why I love Camryn. That's why I love her.
Hi,
Cams.
Hi, Camryn.
So
it's like we're back on Broadway.
Aw.
Look how sweet.
My God.
That was such a...
We shared a dressing room together. And
we shared our beta blockers.
Oh, nervous people.
Drug addicts. That's what we were. We were drug addicts.
No.
Camryn, if you shared a dressing with Marlee, maybe you can answer this question that someone just asked. Where is that? Wait, where did it go? Hold on. This. Is that a tattoo on Marlee's left arm?
It is, right there.
What is it?
Technical error.
It says Sarah, Brandon, Tyler, Isabel. Right there. Oh, that's where it says.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just
Sorry,
small. Oh, wait. You can't hear more?
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Camryn, sign back in. Come back. Hold on. I'll get rid of her. Watch this. Kick from studio. She'll come back. Jack, we're going to read your names.
What's that?
She'll come back.
Say the names again.
So we're going to read your names. And you can sign.
Sarah, Brandon, Tyler.
No, not those clowns. I got that. The donation names.
Oh, the donation names. Where's that? Where's that?
So you sign these. Can you sign who these people are that just donated?
Go ahead.
Okay. We have Carla from Washington who donated $50. Andrew,
Yes, Carla.
Andrew from California gave $25.
Thank you, Andrew.
Susan from New Mexico, $25.
Thank you, Susan.
Mary from California, $25.
Thank you, Mary.
David from Pennsylvania gave $50.
Wow. Thank you, David.
Lisa from California just gave $50.
And good luck spelling this.
Benico
Benico.
from Ohio gave $100.
Wow, Benico, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Cameron, can you see or talk anymore?
Yes, now I can. I don't know if something happened.
That's what happens.
So Cam, tell us a story about Marlee that maybe not everybody knows besides the drug addiction.
Okay, one of my favorite stories.
Cameron, I'll sign for you, Cameron.
Can you see my hands? Okay.
I'll sign.
Because I'm holding my iPhone because I am so technically challenged. I couldn't get on this.
You look great. You look great, actually.
Oh, thank you. Okay. One of my favorite stories was the first week, the first day we got into the theater. It was clear Marlee and I were going to share a room together. And we get in there and she turns off the air conditioner. This is mid-August. She turns off the air conditioner and she looks at me and she says, she signs, "I'm just going to tell you now, I'm always cold." And she looked at me like, right now is going to determine whether or not we're going to be good Broadway roommates. And I looked and I knew I had this one moment in time to just smack her down. And I looked at her, she goes, "Yeah, I'm always cold." And she turns it off. And I looked at her and I go, "Girl, you're going to have to buy a sweater." And she laughed so hard. And I knew we were going to be okay. But there was that one moment where I would be like, if I would have said, "Oh no, okay," there would have been no air conditioning in that room the entire summer. I had that 1 second to go, you know what you can do with your always cold? Go buy yourself a sweater and finally.
That's what we got along. That's good. I had about 20 sweaters hanging in the dressing room.
And actually, I bought her a sweater.
Hey, look at some of these comments that just came in.
Go. Oh my God, how does anyone see? I need glasses.
Oh my God, today's the best episode. Marlee Matlin and Cameron Manheim. My day just went from
That's so sweet.
Most crazy day ever.
I love Tracy. She's my favorite.
Yeah, no, but I think this is
really
really nice.
Look
at this.
Our 2 p.m. shows. This daily matinee was such a helpful break from my daily stress. My husband had 10 days of nonstop fever with no end in sight. I promised myself to donate to the Actors Fund. The day his fever broke, I just donated. Thank you, Cindy.
It's so nice.
Oh, this is so great.
Okay, I hope your husband's okay, Cindy.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, one more. I saw Spring Awakening on Broadway. You were all great. Cameron, you were so busy overacting. Oh, acting, voicing.
Michelle, I know you did not say that. It's just,
That's my interpretation.
I know. I'm trying to find glasses so I can read these. Thank you so much. And thank you to James and Seth for doing this because I often think actors are overlooked.
Hey, Cameron, are you going? Are you like lead taking? Are you busy? Are you going someplace? You're gonna go shoot something? Is that what? Are you leaving now? Or are you just saying thank you?
No, I'm just showing my appreciation for what you're doing because in these times when everyone is having to stay at home and do the right thing by taking care of our healthcare workers, it's actors who are giving people some entertainment and enjoyment. And I think people feel that actors are always super flush and have a ton of money. And that is just not true. For the majority of working actors, they work week by week, episode by episode. And it is so kind of you to donate to these families who are also struggling, but also bringing you so much happiness and relief right now.
Cam, you're the best. Cam, we're going to have some TV show reunions. You need to come back with a little TV show reunion if you get my trip.
It's already called The Practice.
Oh, exactly. We want everyone together. So we're going to schedule that.
Marlee and I again, because we were on the practice together. Or did you just say that and I didn't hear you because I'm old? And
I was promoting for Marlee and for Cameron.
Max said it, but also you're getting older, Cameron. All right.
What Marlee said anyway. Okay.
All right. So I guess we have to go to our next guest. So we're saying goodbye to you three clowns who we love. Oh, Marlee's going to cry.
You're going to come back.
You're going to come back.
Surprise guest of Cameron. Thank you both so much. Thank you, James and Seth, for doing this. This is great. And donating to the Actors Fund. And it's really, really been a pleasure for everybody. And thank you, and I appreciate everyone who's donated.
Thank you for putting us on your list.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Great to see you, Marlee and Jack and James and Seth.
Bye-bye. Love you.
I'm terrified of you, Seth. I don't know what you're going to say about me after I'm gone.
I'm going to be nice. Just watch this. Click.
Bye.
Bye, Jack. Bye, Marles. Bye. Thank you. They're all so nice.
That was so fun. Oh, my gosh.
So now I'm very excited.
Yes.
Bringing on one of my musical idols. Oh, there's Cameron still sassing. Really? Cameron, are you going to follow me the whole damn time?
Yeah, now I'm going to follow you and make sure that you don't,
Sass?
diss me backstage.
Okay. You can keep She's scary. All right, here's one of the most amazing musical mavens ever. The talent level is unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
Sadly, she's left New York. We're devastated over that. But at least
she's with us now.
We can keep in touch this way. Please welcome the brilliant Hampton Callaway.
Hello. How are you guys?
Where is your beautiful
Where are you?
house located?
It's in the foothills of Tucson, Arizona, and it's a beautiful day here in Tucson. Just a few clouds in the sky, and it's sunny and about 70 degrees. So it's a nice little sanctuary for me.
Nice.
And do you do all your composing in this room, or do you have separate rooms?
This is the main place I compose. I mean, I compose anywhere, but I'm sitting at the piano right now.
You're like,
and, I look out of my window, and it's the most spectacular view. I've never had a home like this before, and it's very special. It's weird because I haven't been home for this long ever since we moved here, and it's really nice to be able to, and not the greatest circumstances, obviously, but it's nice to be able to just be in one place and connect with our cats and our even though it's online, it's just nice to have some time to think and feel and process all this.
Yeah, people have been saying like Mother Nature is giving us a time out, and that's kind of what it feels like in a good way.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay, I have 1,000 things to ask you. Anne has all these songs prepared. I want to just talk about the first song you're going to do because I know you dreamed about being on Broadway when you were younger. Then I feel you kind of went a different path, and you were singer, songwriter, performer, but then you somehow got onto Broadway. How did you get into swing?
Well, it's a story I love telling. Now, I wanted to be on Broadway for a long time when I moved from Chicago to New York. And by the way, I love that you had Matlin on, who's also from Chicago. So it's a good Chicago show today. Mm-hmm. But I was 5'10" and worth the climb, of course. And they didn't really know what to do with me. I wasn't an ingenue type like my sister Liz, who did so well right from the start. So one day, flash forward many years after I couldn't get anybody to think of me in a Broadway show, they had this idea to do a show called Swing. And they thought, let's get an Hampton Callaway type. So they went for six months. They looked for somebody like me. And then finally somebody had the great idea, maybe we should actually call Hampton Callaway. So so then I met with Lynn Taylor Corbett and the producers, and we talked, and there it was, my dream come true, getting not only to star in a Broadway show, but getting to help write songs, rewrite, add songs for novelty moments. And it was an extraordinary experience, and it really helped me grow a lot as a singer and as an artist.
I mean, you were playing piano, you were singing, and then your very first Broadway show, you also wound up getting a Tony nomination. How did you find out you got a Tony nomination?
My publicist called me, and I yelled at him and I said, stop. I couldn't believe it. I was just stunned, and I was like, that's not funny. And then I really remember just crying when I heard the words, because I just thought that was one of those dreams that wasn't going to come true for me. And it's to this day one of my favorite moments of just thinking, when you go beyond the threshold of what you think is possible. And I've had a lot of moments like that in my life where, many, many years after dreaming something, it finally comes true. So don't give up out there. It's everything is possible.
And I was going to say, in P.S., you need to come back to Broadway. But I'd love you to do the song that kind of put you on the map Broadway-wise, that you played the piano and you sassafrased.
All right. Well, this is by the great Harold Arlen and Johnny Mercer, and I dedicate it today to all the single and bitter people.
Oh, perfect.
My mama told me when I was in pigtails, my mama done told me how a man's gonna sweet talk, he's gonna give you the big eye, but when the sweet talking's done, two-face, a worrisome thing will leave you to sing the blues in the night. From Natchez to Mobile, from Memphis to St. Joe, wherever the four winds blow, I have been in some big towns, and I've heard me some big talk, but there is one thing I know: the man is a two-face, a worrisome thing who'll leave you to sing the blues in the night. The rains are falling, hear that rain calling. Ooh-wee. Mama done told me, hear that whistle blowing across the trestle. Ooh-wee. My mama done told me, ah-wee, ah-wee. Oh, kitty clacks, echoing back the blues in the night. The evening breeze will start the trees to crying, and the moon will hide her lights. When you get the blues in the night, take my word, the mockingbird will sing the saddest kind of song. He knows things are wrong, and he's right. From Natchez to Mobile, from Memphis to St. Joe, wherever the four winds blow. I have been in some big towns, and I've heard me some big talk, but there's one thing I know: a man is a two-face, a worrisome thing who'll leave you to sing the blues in the night. Ooh. My mama was right. There's gonna be blues. There is gonna be in the night. Oh, yeah.
And the riffs are so amazing. How did you learn how to riff like that?
I think it just came naturally when I was a kid. All my favorite singers were Black, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, you name it.
It's so clear. You do everything.
Having the name Anne Hampton Callaway, I was born with that name. I think spiritually, I am the love child of Lionel Hampton and Cab Calloway.
You're just saying, my God, that was an amazing interpretation. Now, look, someone just wrote this as a comment. I love that Anne and Liz have such different voices, but they're equally talented and lovely people. Do you agree with that? Your sister?
I think she's lovelier. And, I think we're very lucky that we are so different to be in the same career, because it would be really hard to, if one of us was doing really well and the other one wasn't. But we have not only been blessed with talents from our mom and our dad, but we also have an amazing friendship. And I think our supportiveness through the years has really been a boon to us growing and developing our talents and our sense of joy and love for what we do. And I feel really lucky that, Liz and I are so different. I think of her voice as sunlit, and my voice is moonlit, and together we make twilight.
Here's the deal. I don't know if you know, but Liz says about me that she calls me the brother that she never wanted. So we have a different relationship.
The hostile love can be a very, charming quality.
Well, we think it's important that you keep in touch with your sister Liz. So just here to say hello is none other than.
Yay!
Hello, my sister.
Hello, my sister.
This is my latest solo CD.
Liz, what are you doing?
Oh, Anne. Boom. Ba-da-da-ba-ba.
Okay, just FYI, we were literally sound checking with Liz and talking to her right when you checked in. Did you see her?
I didn't see her. I saw Liz Calvin, and I thought, oh my God, is it really going to happen? So,
hi,
Liz.
Hi, my sister. I want you to know I didn't know I was doing this until 1:30 when Seth texted me. I was still in my pajamas.
Now, by the way, Liz is angry that I texted her. Why would I think someone at 1:30 would still be in their pajamas?
I think everyone's living in their pajamas for this time period. I mean, that's the universality of pajamas is the dress code for the COVID-19 era.
Thank you, my sister.
By the way, I love, Liz, that you're sitting in front of your Hirschfeld. That's really cool.
Oh, this?
And
and you're. Very nice.
Yeah, I couldn't resist. So anyway, Anne, I just want to say,
funny.
You sounded so incredible you call it Diva O'Clock. Hearing you,
that's right.
It's like not even noon yet where you are, right? Or is it what time?
Right.
12:30 there. Wow.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It was. I love that you started me out with that song.
But actually, you know what, Anne, this actually is inspiring to me because I'm just remembering now, you went through that period where your voice was gone. You sound amazing. So I think it's really great for singers to know. What was that story and how it came back perfect, your voice? So what happened?
It's an amazing story. I was singing 10 shows at Birdland of my tribute to Ella Fitzgerald for her centennial. And I got really sick with bronchitis. And, we always say in show business, the show must go on. So I called my doctor and I said, I'm going to need some steroids. I'm going to need, antibiotics. I got to do these shows. And, well, I was coughing like I've never coughed in my life. And then one day, my voice just felt like this is not who I am. On the worst day of my life, what is going on?
And so I was talking to you and I was like, that doesn't sound like you.
So I went to my local doctor and he's like, just do this and just do that and you'll be fine. And Liz, thank you so much for being such a loving sister, said, you know what? This is really serious. You should see a top doctor. Let me see if the Actors Fund could connect us with a really great doctor right away. And they did. And they did. Yeah, I got an amazing doctor. He did things, he knew things that the other doctor had no idea about. And he diagnosed me with something I'd never heard of called a vocal ulceration. And so I had to be silent for 2 months, which, as Liz would know, is a really big thing. But what was really weird was he was so great to me. He told me exactly what to do, and I had followed his instructions religiously. When it was all over and I got through, the pretty much the first part of the healing process where, okay, I'm going to be okay. He told me he wasn't sure I'd ever be able to sing again. So I get really, pretty emotional about the thought of that. And so I would like to thank my sister and Actors Fund for stepping in and saving my life and my career and the thing I love most to do. So that's a pretty big thing.
The great Broadway diva, Anastasia Barzee, would like to know, who was the doctor? You're allowed to say?
I'm having a moment of Jazzheimer's. I have my phone nearby. I will look it up and tell you because that's so funny. Let me see.
Well, Anne's looking that up. I mean, that's why we're so, and the Actors Fund also helped our mom at a very difficult time. And they do so much for so many people. As you said, not just performers behind the scenes, all around the country, everyone involved. And so everyone who is donating during this difficult time, it's so moving to see how many people, even $5, $10, everything is so helpful.
Yes. Liz, why don't you read? We just texted you some names of people that just donated. Look at your phone.
Perfect. Do it.
Oh God, wait.
No problem.
What's my code?
Oh God.
Okay. Should I read the list?
I just texted Liz a sampling of donors during this hour. So Liz, go ahead and read them.
Okay, we have Janet from Virginia, $100. Farron from New York, $50. Mary from California, $50. Jeff from New York, $50. Michael from New York, $50. Keith from Virginia, $100. Lori from California, $100. Teresa from Montana, $25. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone.
Listen, your voice is so soothing to listen to.
Why, thank you. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Seth.
The content.
When I speak, I like to think of mixing as I speak.
Gosh.
And who was the damn doctor? Do we know yet?
No, I can't believe it. I can't find it. My contacts are totally screwed up.
I'll
I'm
announce
so
it
sorry.
tonight. Just text
Liz,
us.
do you remember what hospital it was that he was at?
Mount Sinai?
I don't remember.
We'll find out and we'll announce it tonight.
In New York? Yeah. Okay. I will let you know. Thank you.
Second of all, we brought Liz on the show, not just for social connection, but also to dish. Liz, how is it give us an annoying fan story.
Oh, well, gosh. Actually, I have to say that Anne, for the most part, is really, really a wonderful, nice sister, much nicer than me. But when we were, I remember when we were growing up, she dared me to eat a stick of butter, and I did, and it did not end well. Right, Anne? Didn't you do that?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. And then didn't I tell you that you had to have a cup of sugar too?
Yeah, probably. But then again, you told me that I tried to stab you with my brownie jackknife, which is a lie.
Yeah. No, you definitely did. Yeah. But I won in our popsicle eating contest, and you never paid me the millions of dollars. So I'm still waiting, Liz. And this would be such a great time to have a little financial backing from you.
Well, I would do that. But if I did have the funds to pay you back for all the popsicle eating contests I lost, I would donate it to the Actors Fund.
Good ass kiss. Such
a giver.
So, Anne, I want to say two things. We're now doing Variety Thursday. Like we had a magician last week. We have a lot of specialty acts. So we actually want you to come back to create your song. So that's going to be on our Variety Thursday. But we want you to do your song that
the Barbara song.
The Barbara song that I just heard, Anne, that I heard Liz singing in a car.
Yeah.
Narrowly avoiding many accidents. So I'd love you to do
that. And actually, can I say something about this? This is at the same time that Barbra Streisand recorded, that Anne wrote.
Liz, you dropped a name. Let me pick it up.
Anne also has a gorgeous recording herself of it. But what a lot of people don't know, and I just was remembering this, in our original show, Sibling Revelry, we sang this in our show all those years ago. But when we did the album, we left it off purposely because you had this dream of Barbra Streisand recording that song. And so we didn't put it on Sibling Revelry. And it's like we put it out there in the universe, and then she did record it. So,
and she actually recorded her final vocal 10 years to the date that I wrote the song. So,
oh man, did you when you left off the album? Did you have any connection to Barbra in the first place?
I was trying in various ways to get it to her. No, I just felt in my gut that it was going to happen. And literally, if I were to write a list of all the mischievous ways that I tried to get it to her, it would be astounding. And Liza Minnelli had done it, and Patti LuPone had done it on a TV special, and all these people wanted to release it, and I said no. And I just felt like this is Barbra's song. And I'm really glad I did, because 6 million people got to hear it, her recording, the first person to put it out there in the world. And thank you so much, Barbra Streisand. I love your work. You're so talented. Oh my God.
Wait, how did you finally get to her?
Yeah.
Well, my dear friend Amanda McBroom was in a meeting with Jay Landers, who's Barbra's A&R guy, and he was looking for sort of spiritual, uplifting songs for her record called Higher Ground. Right. And so she said, "Oh, you should meet my friend Hampton Callaway. I think she has a song that she literally wanted Barbra to sing." So I had a meeting with Jay, and I played him the song. We had a nice talk, and he said, "Well, are you willing to do any rewrites? Because Barbra might want a few." I said, whatever it takes, this is my dream come true. I think it would be an amazing thing. So 150 rewrites later, or give or take. I mean, it was really, and my favorite thing was talking to Barbra on the phone, because I didn't understand what she wanted changed. So I was talking to my dad in Chicago, and I get the call, we have Barbra on the line. It was like, my heart was beating. And I tried to act so mature and calm, but I mean, you can imagine talking to Barbra Streisand on your phone. And I remember her saying, "Anne, what I really want you to do is write something simple but profound. Simple that you understand it immediately, but so profound that every time you hear it, you hear something new." So thank you, Barbra.
Wow.
It's changed my life as a songwriter, actually.
Do you remember something that the first way it was, and then the way that she had you change it to?
The bridge. And, I still sing some of my original lyrics. And Liz, I think you sang some of the original lyrics too.
That recently I did your original lyric, actually.
Yeah. And she changed the melody a little bit because she felt more comfortable, but I like to do it. And so would you like me to do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Liz, I've never been happier to say goodbye.
Aww.
No, you'll come back.
I love you, my sister. Yay.
You'll come back if you like. All right, Anne, we're watching you.
All righty. And I want to send this out to everybody around the world who's watching. We're in this together. Think of all the hearts beating in the world at the same time. Think of all the faces telling stories of our lives at the same time. Think of all the eyes looking out into this world, trying to make some sense of what we see. Think of all the ways we have of seeing. Think of all the ways there are of being. Think of all the children born into this world at the same time. Feel your love surround them through the years that need to grow at the same time. Think of all the hands that will be reaching for a dream, and think of all the dreams that could come true. If the hands we're reaching with could come together, join shining me and you. When it comes to thinking of tomorrow, we must protect our fragile destiny. In this precious life, there is no time to borrow. The time has come to be a family. Think of all the love is pouring from our hearts at the same time. Think of all the lights our love can shine around this world at the same time. Think what we've been given, and then think what we could lose. All of life is in our trembling hands. It's time to open up our hearts and join to build a world that loves and understands. It helps to think of all the hearts beating in the world, and hope for all the hearts beating in the world. There's a healing music in our hearts beating in this world at the same time. At the same
I get it. You're super talented. It's so great. The voice, the writing. I've been begging, begging Anne to write a Broadway musical. So that's going to be part of what you're going to be doing in quarantine. Is writing.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
Let's talk about that. Listen, and then once we can figure out how to do duets, you two clowns will do something together, which would be very nice. You all have so many albums out. Okay, we want to just conclude with saying what's coming tonight.
Tonight, cast members from Barry,
including Emmy Award winner Henry Winkler. We're obsessed with that TV show.
You want to roll credits, Seth, and then
we have new credits. Here, Anne, why don't you underscore the credits?
Yes.
Okay, ready? Here, just give me something that's credit worthy and hit it. Yeah.
Thank you, Seth and James, and everyone watching. I hope you donate to the Actors Fund today. Stay home, stay safe, and you hear it from Liz and Hampton Callaway. Great to be on your show.
That was amazing.
And
you credits for the rest of this time.
I was going to say we have to record that better. You have to be our closing.
And we actually been talking about doing a little opener that's like a 30-second. Why in the hell did we already think about Anne doing it? We don't need you doing it.
Okay, talk to you soon. Be quiet, you. Okay.
Don't be a louse. Watch Stars in the House.
Already, the mind's working. The mind's working. Okay, so watch Barry tonight. You guys, you're all going to come back as usual. Anything else we have to say on it?
I think that's it. And we can show little Mandy who's sleeping. We don't want to bring in all the other dogs, so we're going to.